Hi, I'm Stephanie and this is my home, the 16th century Chateau de Lalande. Lalande was owned for hundreds of years by a family of marquises who were at the heart of French royal life. One of them even had the honour of being sent by King Louis XV to greet Marie Antoinette on her arrival in France. But, far from being a stuffy museum, this chateau is a living home. I live here all the time and am regularly joined by my mother, my family, my friends, and wonderful volunteers from all over the world who help me to lovingly restore this historic home. Welcome to Lalande, a chateau filled with life, love, and laughter.
Good morning. I have snuck down. No one is around because they don't like me going around filming, but it's too exciting. I know Ian's here and Dan's here, and I'd be going out to see what they're doing anyway, so I don't think it makes any difference if I'm filming. Oh, I like this sound. This sound means something exciting's happening. But what? Well, good morning. Good morning, how are you? Hello, Ian.
Hello.
Hello and hello, the other Ian. Well, things are really moving in here.
Yes.
That's looking really good.
Isn't it?
Yes. Oh, I'm amazed at how much has been done since I was last in here.
Here's the footage from my last visit.
Well, it sounds as though very exciting things are happening over here. But what? What is going on? Hello, hello?
Hello.
What is happening in here, Ian?
I'm making a hole in a wall.
That looks like a fun thing to be doing.
Yes.
Oh, this is for the new plumbing system.
Yes, all these pipes up here,
Yes.
around the wall, along,
Yeah.
and through there.
Out there into the septic tank. Best place for them.
Absolutely. Yes.
Fantastic. And how are things going next door?
Well, come and have a look. I've been there around there for a few minutes.
Oh, you sure? I'm not disturbing you too much.
No.
I'm sure everyone's going to want an update. Oh, I can hear stuff going on in there as well.
well,
What's happening
yes.
everywhere today?
Insulation going up. the
Excellent.
boards are going up.
Hello, hello. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Wow, that's going quickly.
Isn't it? It's coming along nice.
Yes, look at all that delicious, luscious insulation in there.
Yes.
Oh, that does look fluffy and good.
It is. That little puff right, really.
I have been told by the kitchen that you have got all of the Jaffa cakes.
Hey! Oh, no, they're actually, they're on a diet as of today. I just
Oh,
bought
are
the
they?
wrong one. Yeah, so I'll take care of that.
So it was you who ate all the Jaffa cakes,
It
was
will
it?
be. It definitely will be.
This is fantastic. I love seeing this happening. Mummy's going to be so happy.
Oh, it's going to make such a difference.
Yeah.
Such a difference. Do you want me to go and give you a hand up there, guys? Good, mate, yeah.
I really feel that everything is coming together.
It certainly is. Excuse me a moment. Search her hand required. Okay. Yeah. You go, mate. Lovely. Lovely, lovely.
Well, this looks great. Absolutely fantastic.
That's really superb. All in the preparation.
Isn't it just?
Oh, yes. Wait till you see the room of doom.
The Room of Doom. Let's go and look at the Room of Doom. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Right, well, I'm following you to the Room of Doom, Ian.
Yes, I think Jean-Marie has just taken another trailer load. I think we're on about a 25th trailer at the moment.
Oh, Jean-Marie is digging out.
Yeah.
Well, that is amazing. This is the second time that we've had a digger in the house. But luckily, this feels less intrusive than it did in the Grand Salon.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the pictures of that.
Yeah.
We have found, well, you've got Jean-Marie now.
Treasure?
No, it's metal, but it's not as you wish. Where it comes out from underground,
Yes.
this is absolutely rotten. It's kind of ready to go. It's so rusty. Now,
Ah.
of course, we can't turn this off, as you know.
Do I know that?
Yeah, there was a problem when we had the big pipe and we
Yes.
couldn't close that down fully. Well, of course, this is fed from it on a
Yes.
smaller pipe. But John Marie says he's more than happy. He's got the tools to get in here and actually thread this even while the water's coming through it.
Oh, we can?
He says, yes. This can all stay. What he'll do is he'll replace this section here and then we'll protect it before we...
But we don't need it in here because it's not town water, is it?
No, but they use it for the garden, don't they? This is the outside tap.
Oh, that is the actual outside tap. It comes up through the inside.
Yes, if you can get your camera...
Yes, I see.
Torch on
I was trying to work out why we would need that in the apartment, but
look
what
right
a
down
draft.
Oh, yes.
That's incredible.
Well, there's a great big conduit going out under the driveway, sort of heading off.
Oh, there's an extraordinary draft coming from that hole. Okay, so
we really need to keep this because we want
Yes.
that tap on it. But this will then obviously will go into an insulated wall anyway.
Yes.
So we'll just put an access point on there to turn this off because this works fine.
Okay.
It's this bit here that's the problem.
Okay, great.
And this hole does seem to travel through.
Yes.
For what reason we have
Well,
but it may have been
in
for the old moat.
Philip's found all the old plans for this section from the 19th century, so I'm sure he can get those out later and you can have a look and see if anything is explained on that.
That would be really good.
Yeah.
Does it show the old and the new?
No, it only shoes the new.
Because we have a definite difference in floor level here, which we're going to have to rethink because of the insulation. We need the right level of insulation, otherwise we're not going to get the...
Yeah. And what has happened?
This is absolute bedrock here.
You're on bedrock?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
These are massive. We've tried to I mean, it's only a little dig, you can't get anything bigger in here. So we'll just have to evaluate the levels and
So we either do one level all the way through or we could do two levels, one for...
We could do a split level. But until we've dragged all of this out and we know
and we know what's going on.
I'll give you an example. We've just cut this little stick here, which is the one, it's just a data point to give us 1.5 down.
Yes.
But when I get over to here, we've got 6 inches difference.
6 inches.
50 mil. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we seem to be having that problem in a lot of rooms here at the moment.
Well, we'll do it the South African way, but that's split level. Or the Chinese way, the Chinese way split level.
Wow, look at the amount coming out.
I know, it's endless. The nice thing about it is the ground outside is so high.
Yes, so it would be nice to get towards it. Much better for the windows as well.
So if we took maybe the last third of the building, which is about where you are now anyway.
If we could make it a bit bigger than that, say from the doorway there.
What, literally split the room in half?
Split the room in half, because then I think that side could be a bedroom, like Lande's sitting area, like leading out, because it's so pretty. And this side could be the office area. Because I haven't told any of you what we were planning this room for, and that's because I hadn't told its future recipient. And I've now checked with Natty, because I was planning all along that this would be a really nice space for the manager of the chateau, because Natty really needs to be able to have her own apartment where she can get away from it all and try and relax as well, because she's a bit of a workaholic and she just doesn't stop. And somehow this feels a little bit more isolated and self-contained, but then she can split it in between an office at this side with the double doors, so she can see all of the deliveries, everyone arriving immediately on that side. And then if this side is completely separate from that, she has a private apartment going straight onto the chapel and the garden. And then also, she's on the back kitchen corridor and can get to everybody very quickly. So I think it's a really good place for Natty.
That's a really win-win, isn't it?
She's really excited about it.
Okay. What we'll do is we'll work out Jerry's apartment first, because the drainage is not as much the plumbing to feed everything. It's going to be the drainage taken away. I kind of had it in my head that maybe we would have kitchen one side, kitchen space one side, bathroom space.
I think it's a bit of a pity, because that's going to be the nicest wall with all the light.
That's the thing, and we're going to put that big set of doors in. It's just the run of the water. If we step down here, we've got to bring everything up
to go out that way.
It's still going to fall. We'll do a drawing and then we'll come up with a plan before we go further.
Well, it's going very well, my little stealth attack on filming, because no one's tried to stage an intervention yet. So I'm going to carry on and go and see if I can see Dan and Kirsty in the garden. They must be working in a different area today. I can see Thor looking just splendid. I can see Catwoman over with Maggie Smith, but there's no Dan or Kirsty. So I'm not going to wander around in the cold. I'm going to have a quick look at Thor, and then I'll go back in
I can come out to see everyone later. I was just looking for you in the vegetable garden.
We changed spots.
Look at that, you're like the Scarlet Pimpernel. Oh my goodness, all of the hyacinths are coming up.
Yeah, they're looking good, aren't they?
Yes! These were a gift, weren't they?
Yeah.
How lovely.
Michael, was it that sent them in?
Lovely day for it.
It's freezing.
Yeah, really bitterly cold.
Yeah, so this is all looking better, isn't it?
So much better. Wow, my mother's going to be so pleased.
I know.
Well, as you've clearly got the situation very well under control, I think I'm going to go in.
I recommend that, yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
Oh, have you got the gas bottle for your new flamethrower yet?
I haven't been and got one yet, no.
I'm so excited to see that.
It will be imminent. You'll know.
Today is a very exciting day at Lalande because I have an appointment with the architect. I want to finally talk about the facade of the chateau, and also many of you have pointed out that when we arrive at the chateau on the right hand side there's a missing window, and why is that the case? So I also want to talk to her about putting windows back where they're missing. So huge day today actually. I'm going to run down and see her now.
Ceci dit, refaire tout l'enduit, c'est l'idéal.
Oui.
Mais on peut chiffrer les deux.
Voilà, et voir. Peut-être faire une partie et avec le reste qui n'est pas si mal, faire...
Parce que ça, c'est un enduit ciment, donc c'est pas extraordinaire. Le mieux, c'est à la chaux, comme avant.
Oui, absolument, oui.
Et ça fait respirer les murs, c'est beaucoup mieux. Voilà, on peut peut-être marcher par étapes.
Petit peu par petit peu, on pourra faire quelque chose. Et je voulais aussi vous parler de fenêtres. Pendant qu'on parle de la façade, so there are three things that I'm speaking to Madame Autier about today. And one is the facade, which we really need to look at, including the balcony over the entrance hall. And the second is, of course, the idea of a balcony that is going to link these three rooms. C'est ça.
Comme ça. Et donc l'idée, c'est de réunir
ces trois et avoir un escalier qui descend.
Et avoir un escalier qui descend dehors.
Venir sortir, mais surtout pour avoir, en cas de feu, la possibilité de descendre, mais aussi, je crois que ce sera merveilleux de pouvoir rentrer.
Ça sera super pratique.
The third thing that I want to talk about are the windows. Nous avons deux fenêtres qui manquent, qui ne sont qui sont condamnées.
Qui ont disparu.
Oui, et vous avez peut-être vu en arrivant à gauche.
Comment ça se passe là-haut? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Il y a la place, il y a une salle de bain. On peut absolument la remettre. Il y a la place.
Ben, il faut.
Je crois.
Ben, oui.
Et voilà la petite fenêtre qui devrait être comme celle-ci. Celle-là.
Ah, d'accord. Ok.
Et c'est la seule qui a été réduite sur cette façade.
Parce qu'ils ont trouvé que c'était trop grand pour la pièce.
Je me demande, oui, peut-être.
Je regarde, les corniches sont anciennes.
Mais là, on a la place pour la fenêtre. Où est-ce que la fenêtre devrait continuer de ce côté?
Je regarde les... Eh ben c'est ça.
Ah, maybe it doesn't fit. We've got some extreme window checking. Do try not to fall out.
Yeah. No, actually not.
No?
It's here, so it's about there. About 5 centimeters. No, what, 10 centimeters this side? Because you can see the original hinges for the shutters. The original hinges.
10 cm là, and the other side?
And that side, that side is way more. Wait.
Donc ça c'est bon.
That side is.
C'est bon.
40 centimeters.
Là, il y a 40 cm. Oh, we're lucky.
Good.
Yeah, I was worried there for a minute that we couldn't put it back because it would fall in the wall space, but I think it's good. Well done.
Il faudrait faire un trou derrière le tableau.
Oui.
Avec une scie cloche.
We need to drill behind the painting, yeah, and see what we find.
Yeah.
Comme ça, on saura si c'est...
Oui,
s'ils ont mis
encore là.
très très épais.
Oui.
S'il
y a du vide.
Exactement. Vous en avez une qui a été...
Oui, et là, on ne peut pas la remettre. Là, c'est les escaliers. Alors, ils ont condamné une fenêtre.
Alors, là, parce que là, je vois une grande fenêtre, une plus basse, une grande. Et là, on peut imaginer qu'il y avait une autre fenêtre sous la lucarne.
Oui. Franchement, je serais contente de remettre les deux. On a la place à l'intérieur pour une là et une là.
Vous avez une symétrie quand même, il se passe des choses, il faut faire le dessin. Alors ça, c'est pas très compliqué à relever, il faut faire le dessin et puis comme pour le balcon...
Jouer ce qui va marcher.
Exactement.
parce que ça va apporter tellement de luminosité à ma chambre. These are all the things that she's found in the local archives, and it's really wonderful. Look, you can see it's a totally different shape, the building. There's this little tiny bit that came out in the middle, and a much, much larger wing on this side, with the moat going all the way along.
Et tout ça, un autre bassin.
And the whole dry moat, which we thought was a dry moat, was in water.
Et ça, c'est Crozon en 1835.
C'est pas longtemps.
Et j'ai
It's quite
retrouvé...
recent, 1835.
It's before the fire.
It's before the fire. So this is wonderful. This is what Chateau de Lalande used to look like. This was the shape of the chateau. It was far bigger, in fact, because at the moment the buildings come to about here on this wing, and they went all the way to the moat, and the moat carried on beyond them. These are presumably the two towers that we know were by the lake, and it seems as though there was a third one that linked to it with a wall.
Looks nice.
It looks lovely, doesn't it? Well, I'll be reading all of this and then finding out exactly what they say about it. On voit les trois tours carrées qu'on voit sur le plan que vous avez apporté.
Absolument. Par contre, on a l'impression que tout est plus haut.
Je crois que ça, c'est peut-être le style artistique.
Oui.
Parce qu'on en avait un autre, et là, on voit que c'est beaucoup plus le...
C'est beaucoup plus la réalité.
Voilà, c'est plus la réalité, mais on voit encore les deux tours, là. Et nous avons beaucoup d'autres plans aussi, il y a que cela qu'on a fait encadrer, mais on a plein de détails plus précis.
Ah, c'est bien. C'est bien parce que ça peut permettre de gagner beaucoup de temps.
Oui. So Philip has become our master of plans. He's been poring over these obsessively. So he's showing the architect exactly what we have. Et là, je pense que les dimensions sont correctes.
Oui, parce qu'elles sont très précises.
Oui, et c'est ce qui s'est passé. Pour la plupart.
Ça, c'est comme ça.
She's wanting to know just how much we have of the dimensions.
C'est comme ça.
So these are the second floor plans.
C'est
1860 et quelques. 67.
1867.
1867.
Ah, ça, c'est beau. C'est propre.
And she's offering us to use her scanner at the architect's office so that we can get copies of all of these. Chatelaine is saying something that I think was beyond even my very large dreaming, which was, should we consider putting the moat back?
on either side.
Yeah, which is a really, really exciting thought and something for the future. But I think this is something we could start thinking about in the future.
Alors, sinon, il faut recréer une illusion de dos. Je sais plus où j'ai vu ça, mais
oui.
Avec des fleurs bleues.
Ah,
Partout.
Oui.
Et trouver plusieurs espèces pour que ce soit toujours bleu.
Comme de l'eau.
Trouver l'expression contemporaine ou créative pour redonner à lire de façon un peu...
Or we could do it as a sort of a mirage of water by doing blue plants where there would have been the moat.
Right, I like that
So
idea.
both are possible.
Autre idée, mais on va apprendre à se connaître.
Oui.
Des miroirs
Ah oui.
qui prennent le ciel.
Oui.
Ouais.
Il faut faire une création artistique.
Oui.
On inverse tout. Et ça peut être... il faudrait faire un essai. Mais
un jeu de miroirs pourrait marcher.
Que ça peut
très
être
bien.
très surprenant et ça pourrait marcher.
Oui. So we're brainstorming at the moment, and that idea was the possibility of using a mirror to give the illusion of a moat by reflecting the sky, which I think is a brilliant idea as well. So we've got either that very contemporary route that we could go down to do it, or the putting back of the actual moat, or doing it through gardening. So there's quite a lot of options and things for us to look at. C'est très intéressant. Oui, c'est très important de pouvoir rêver. Sans ça, on n'arrive à rien.
Alors moi, j'arrête pas.
Ouais. Non, nous non plus.
Merci bien.
This is Jean-Marie, Ian's friend. He is a local French farmer who has agreed to come and help us with his mini digger, because he's such a darling little digger. It can get into the building. Wonderful! He's doing a great job clearing the room out.
Good. So this is the system. Very good system. The trailer fits in, the tractor doesn't. So they push it in by hand and then fill that from the mini digger and then
pull it back out again.
A tractor, Premier.
And then the tractor takes the soil off. And away! I love how the ceiling's coming on.
Good.
It's really getting so nice now. It just feels so much cleaner in here.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it'll be great when it's white as well, but it really feels good.
Across the corner,
Yeah.
on the far side, where the Toblerone cupboard is,
Yes.
and then all the way along this side, there is a Toblerone cupboard. It's triangular.
Yeah, I know.
And then we're going to take an angle all the way across that back wall so that I cover all the pipe work in, but I'm going to put some hatches in there so that we can get to the inspection points.
What do you mean by angle?
Well, rather than just going flat, it's going to be above Stella Artois Bay, coming at an angle like this. Then it covers, because you can see the angle of the pipes. Rather than taking a great big box in across,
What do you think?
I thought I'd come in at like 45 degrees.
I think that's prettier than having a box.
You do?
I thought it was more attractive.
You don't?
You don't?
Looks more like a barn then.
I feel it's a bit modern as opposed to a box which looks a bit like a beam.
Mull on it, that'll take up your whole weekend.
Yeah, it's a shame because it's only really this one that's stopping it from being a quite tidy box.
Yeah.
If a bit of wood could have carried on like the top of that box
Well, you can do.
along there, and you know, with it up to it as it could go there, that would look quite nice. And then we just need a little bit around that one pipe.
Okay.
Could do that too, yeah.
I think that might be
That
better.
might be better than wood, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because then it would look as though that bit was original if we had a bit of wood carrying
Yeah.
on like that.
Well, we can build a frame.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, then I think that would be better.
Yes, okay.
All right, let's go for that. Good, decision mate. That's what we like to
And
see.
then I'll just-
Making decisions, getting things done.
I'm going to make some little hatches because right up the end there, again, above the corner cupboard, there's 4 rodding eyes up there. So,
Oh, we do need to get to the rodding irons.
oh, you never know when a bit of rodding's required.
Absolutely never. Okay, lovely. Leave a hatch there then.
There we are, boys, just when you thought you were finished.
It all changes.
We said square. We said square, you said that. We went, no, it's got to be square.
Well, I told you square was boring, but there we are.
I am so excited about my meeting with the architect. It's just amazing to think that she is going to start planning the exterior of the chateau, because I love doing the interior. We've got Davey working on the gardens with Dan. It's going to be really exciting with that. But I felt that architecturally, I really needed an expert to work out what to do about the facade. And so she's given us loads of fantastic ideas, even to the point of, do we put the moat back one day? So wildly exciting. I have got these old papers that she's given to me, and I'm going to be translating this whilst I am away. Yes, whilst I am away, because I'm packing, because another intervention has been staged.
By everyone in the house.
I know. And I am going on an enforced break. I'm not even really supposed to be filming on it. So we're going to a friend's house. A friend has really kindly offered me her house in the Dordogne. Philip is going to be taking me, and I'm not supposed to be doing anything whilst I'm there. It's just for 4 days, we're going 3 days.
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, we've tried to take away all the work from you, but people just keep coming in, and
But look how much better I am. I'm really so much better.
But
It's
you're still
just
in
that
the
I don't
evenings.
stop.
You're so tired.
So I'm going on an enforced rest, which I actually think will do me a lot of good. However, I am taking a little bit of work because I do want to... Come on, that's going to be such fun. I want to translate that.
I'm actually really excited about that. So
I'm taking the de Gournay book. This is also really exciting. I received this book in cadeau at the chateau. Beautiful book on the hand-painted de Gournay wall coverings. And it was just unbelievable it arrived when it did, because the previous day I had been looking at them because I've always loved de Gournay, and I would love them in my bedroom. It's a dream. And so I had contacted them and I told them all about our restoration here and about the channel and everything going on. And just after I opened the book, which already felt like a sign, in cadeau at the chateau, I got a wonderful email from de Gournay saying that they would love to work with me and sending me loads of ideas, and they've been fantastic. And so I really think that this might happen, actually. So I'm taking this with me for lots of ideas and more design books. So they're to come as well. And I'm quite excited. A nice peaceful time in the countryside.
right.
Thank you, Philip.
Let's prevent you from working now.
Well, come on, let me do fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's really
okay.
fun.
Fine, okay. We can, I think that's a happy medium.
Okay.
I will miss you a lot.
I'm gonna miss you so much.
Have a lovely time, yeah? Take some rest. And I don't want you to use that phone many hours a day.
I love the way you knew you couldn't say at all.
I know it.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Miss you already. We have arrived in paradise. Honestly, it is so peaceful. As far as the eye can see, it's just woods and countryside, and I'm incredibly happy to be here. The exciting news is that on the way, I translated this as best as I could. The French is rather modern French and it's easy to understand, but there were some words that I just couldn't see clearly enough to see what the word was. But this is what I've made of it. This house, agreeable because of its location, is in a style of architecture which is ostentatious in the area where it was built. I think meaning that for our area, it's a very ostentatious chateau. 2 square pavilions decorated at the top with machicolations and covered walkways form the wings of the principal building. They still do. There are 2 main square towers that form the main part of the old wing. Moats full of water, both in the east and the south, join with a surrounding wall which is unattractive to the eye. The surrounding wall isn't there anymore. We enter the courtyard by a stone bridge, after which is a drawbridge, very different from those usually used in fortresses. So this is amazing. We had a drawbridge, and it was a drawbridge that's very different from usual drawbridges, and it doesn't tell me in what way it was different. So it's very frustrating, but quite fascinating. Also, we cannot see this chateau as simply an ancient and beautiful country house. So he means that it really is a fortress, not a home. From this point on, things get rather confusing. Nevertheless, different objects that reflect decoration rather than defence are illegal. I do not know what he means. Why are they illegal? So there must have been a law around the time that this was written, which meant that either you could not have a fortress, because unless you had some sort of license to have a fortress, I'm making this up, I do not know what it means, it wasn't possible to have that, or it means that if there was a fortress you couldn't turn it into a normal house, you had to keep it as a fortress. And maybe some of you will know the answer to that. This was written in the 19th century. He carries on to say, their execution could be done without deteriorating the property by removing the walls of the pavilions to the point where they meet the attics, which would remove the machicolations and the covered walkways. Well, thank goodness that wasn't done. We still have the machicolations and the covered walkways. And he continues, by destroying or replacing the drawbridge with a stone arcade. Well, there was no stone arcade, but the drawbridge has been destroyed, so that was done. The moat, once dried, would be considered an ordinary boundary, as from their walls their depth is only 10 feet. And that was also done. Part of the moats were dried out. So I feel that I'm none the wiser. It's raised more questions than it's answered, but it is fascinating. We know that we had a drawbridge, and we know that when they decided to do some work to the chateau in the 19th century, there was a law that came into play. I'm sure that some of you will be knowledgeable about this, and I would love it if any of you could let me know. I will also be putting a copy of this on my Patreon site, so if any of my patrons speak French, some of the words that I can't quite make out, you might be able to make out, and that might give us a greater understanding of the meaning of this document. But I won't be spending all of my time thinking about this whilst I'm here. I'm here to relax, though I have to say it is so beautiful that I'm going to slightly go against Natty and Mummy's wishes, because I do want to show you around this area. It is splendid. So in the next vlog, you'll be having a little trip around the Dordogne with Philip and me. A huge thank you to all of our patrons at Lalande who are making this vlog possible, especially our Dauphin and Dauphine of Lalande, Yadel and Ether, Dan Bander, Wailing Banshee, Brian Barnard, Brandon and John Michael, Cecilia Begum, Denise Behrens, Jill Bidwell, Candice Blackburn, Candice and Ed Borkowski, Clara Butcher, Paolina Calabro, Chloe Chalikani, Stephen Sarah Cole, Zoe Dork, Sakura Dennis, Zane Dixon, Jackie Ellison, Nicholas W. Fairfax, Tracy Ferrari, Caroline Förster, Abigail Grant, Fifi Greenberg, Crystal Hardy, Brenda Harris, Delane Hallbrook, Kim Hasselhoff, David and Tong Henderson, Jacqueline Holmes, Priscilla Hubler, Brian Kelsey and Phil Burnt, Jimmy Kemp, Nadia Kennedy, Lisa LaForge, Dave and Summer Lalande, Morgan Lawley, Victoria Lapine, Janet Huff Lombard, Marina, Frank Martin, Meredith, Robert Miller, Kathy Norrie, JC Ward, Maureen Palmer, Teresa Sloan, Frank Poposky and James Snow, Tamara Price, Armin Rahman, Tonya Renee, RJB, Bettina Rojek, Hanny Ross, Mary Ryan, Elizabeth Scanlon, Sven Schreiber, Lisa Schultz, Jennifer Shanks, Patty Suhu, Susan Stevens, Anne The Leaf House, Sarah Thornton, Colleen Troyer, Renee Valelli, Victoria, Jessica Walker, Brandy Walton, Laura Watkins, Lucas Wallen, James Whalen, Cheryl Whitaker, Christine Wilson, Winnie de la Cockapoo, Greg Wood, David Young, and Ludovico Ordonazzo. And thank you to all of you.